Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? How was your good night? Well, I'm hoping it's a good night. It was a good night. And welcome to Full Circle with Mukali Yeni. We have an amazing show lined up for you, still celebrating the women out there and making sure that they know that they are loved. So just stick around and find out how we're actually going to be doing this. And this is all rounded. Women are the center of, I think, everything that happens. If it's a relationship, it's a family, the community, the village. I think we're just right in the center because there's going to be a mom there. There's going to be a sister there. There's going to be a grandma there. There's going to be that little young girl growing up to be the woman that you aspire her to be. So this whole week, we celebrate all of you. Now, talking about a show that is lined up for you, today we're going to be looking at how you can get out of a toxic relationship and actually be the best version of yourself. How do you recover from that? And we've had this word toxic being thrown around, sometimes a bit carelessly. We're going to be looking at what that word means exactly. And because it's a Tuesday, we'll have a royal scuffiness in the building. And we'll also be looking at some of the challenges that couples go through, you know, having been married. The society has expectations, the family has expectations. So why don't you have a child yet? And even when you have one, where's the second one? Why is it taking so long? What are some of the questions and opinions that we should not be giving couples that are in a marriage and do not have children? We'll have a couple in studio talking about all of that. And of course, we're continuing with the series that we started yesterday with Dr. Wale Akinyemi. 111 that is our SMS line. Please talk to us. Let us know where you're watching us from. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Let's take a look at the quote of the day. So today's quote is from Eckhart Tolle, and it says, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation of all abundance. So when you start looking at the good things that you have, the very nice things, the things that make you happy amidst all the things that are not working out for you, when you lose sight of the good, then you lose sight of living life itself. Because in everything that we do, there's joy, there's little joys. You might be waking up thinking, oh my God, but you see, I don't have enough money, I don't have a job, but you are alive. And that in itself, that you are breathing, is a blessing. So do not be so consumed by the things that you do not have that you miss out on the beautiful things that you have, because that is where abundance is. All right. Now it's time to start the conversation, to continue with the conversation that we started yesterday with Dr. Wale Akinyemi. It's time for Advice Circle. We started a conversation around self-image yesterday with Dr. Wale Akinyemi. As usual, we were given nuggets, we were given questions to go home and just answer. And I hope you did that. Dr. Wale Akinyemi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. I love your outfit. It's so original.
Thank you so much. Yesterday, I was given something like this on the show, and the lady told me that she'd borrowed this design from the Nigerian culture. So when I went home, I was just looking through my closet. I was like, I have one of these things. So this is me showing up, representing your home country.
I thought, a part of me thought when you started that somebody gave you that and they said, oh, and we have this for Wale, you know. I thought, but it's okay. Wale has a...
Wale will definitely get something for you. Do not worry about that. Let's pick up from yesterday's conversation. We started on self-image, identifying the roots of poor self-image.
Yes, and I hope everybody did the little exercise that I gave you to do, you know, because it's very important. Everything starts with know thyself. Who are you? All right. Today, I want to take it, of course, a little bit further. Now, let me start by saying perception of self is contagious. Now, don't forget that statement because it's going to come in again later. Perception of self is contagious. So what is your SI unit for your image? Where do you get your identity from? I grew up in Nigeria, and in the Nigeria of the 70s, when I was a kid, um, I made looking back now, I made an interesting discovery that the more authentic we were in presenting ourselves, the more successful we were as a people. So when I tell my children about the Nigeria that I grew up in, it's like I'm just making stories up. And we were so proud of things made in Nigeria. And so the government was always scrambling to push the made in Nigeria agenda. Our sense of pride in ourselves was a catalyst for our development as a people. Now, this is very important piece of information because our greatness lies in our authenticity, but our authenticity flows from our image of ourselves. Do you have the courage to be different? Do you have the courage to be yourself? Now, when I was a kid, I lived in a different world, you know. When I was a kid, being skinny was not a compliment for a woman. In fact, when I was a kid, nobody would look at a skinny woman and say, oh, she's beautiful, oh, she's hot. No, that was not, we didn't look at that. In fact, believe it or not, when a woman gets married or a man gets married, the bulge in his stomach was the evidence required to know if his wife was taking good care of him. Of course, we know better now from a health point of view. But, and this is a big but, that if someone did not promote the fact that in their own opinion, a skinny body is a sexy body, no human being, no woman would have ever felt bad for not having a skinny body. Let that sink. If no one promoted the fact that in their own opinion, a skinny body is a sexy body, nobody would have felt bad for not having a skinny body. The only reason a person might that having a skinny body is their goal, their body goal for them to be accepted, is because someone else pushed it as an agenda. My daughter is involved in a global campaign that will force people who advertise beauty products to disclose when they have been photoshopped. That's because of the devastating effect it's having on young girls who are looking for that perfect skin tone. Again, if someone did not promote a certain skin color or tone as being superior, no one would have felt inferior for having a different one. Now, and what's the main consequence of this? A lot of people get into depression, some even hurt themselves. So again, let me reiterate that if no one said a skinny body or particular skin tone was sexy and the in thing, nobody will feel bad or guilty for not having that. In essence, our identity from the opinions of others. Now, also let that sink. The whole image problem that many people have can be traced back to the opinion of someone else, and many times the opinions of people who themselves have issues. That's a third thing I want you to let sink. Let me give you an example. People, get relationship advice from people who themselves have no great relationships to show for all their advice. We have a proverb that if somebody says, I'm going to give you a shirt, look at the one he's wearing. Some of the world's top personal coaches who teach how to have great relationships are all divorced. They didn't, but you know why? People still listen to them? Because somebody has pushed the image. It's all branding that is the person to listen to. So when some of us who have been married for close to 30 years try to tell people about marriage, and how to make it work, because our approach doesn't look Western enough, a lot of Africans will not pay attention. It's a poor self-image that makes you despise what you have and esteem what others have. Look, I have friends from places where people by nature and design are big. I have a lot of friends from places like Samoa. Okay? Now, should they now go and kill themselves because they saw a photoshopped image of some model, or because they saw an image of someone who goes to extreme measures to keep up an appearance? So if you're going to change your self-image, change the stories you are listening to, and then change your perception and your belief systems. Listen, if you do not accept yourself, why should anyone accept you? If you do not believe in yourself, why should anyone believe in you? If you do not celebrate yourself, why should anyone celebrate you? You have blamed the whole world for not accepting you, for not believing in you, for not celebrating you, but you forgot, or probably you are ignorant of the most important truth of self-image, that perception of self is contagious. You give permission for people to perceive you based on how you have seen yourself. So tomorrow, I'm going to deal with some time-proven practical ways to build a healthy and positive self-image where you can dare to be different. You are not intimidated by your uniqueness. You see your uniqueness as a strength and not a weakness.
Absolutely, Wale. And it's just powerful what you've just said, because sometimes you'll be like, why don't people take me seriously? They always think I'm a joker. No, they don't. I'm trying to push this thing, but they're not seeing it. Probably it's because of how you present yourself. You see yourself as a funny guy. You see yourself as not so serious. It's never that serious. Life is just, it's happy-go-lucky. And that is how people will perceive you. So when they're making decisions that are, a matter of life and death, then you will not be part of that council, because you've already shown them who you are. That is what you believe. And if you want that to change, then it has to start from inside you and the things that you say to yourself.
Absolutely. Nobody can treat you. Listen, nobody is going to treat you better or see you better than you see yourself. That's just a fact. Nobody's going to see you better than you see yourself. So you have to begin to see yourself. Yes, some people love you. They say nice things about you, and everybody sees you as awesome. But a time comes when you reach the season of accountability, where you have to take charge of yourself. And that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow.
Thank you, Wale, for sharing your wisdom with us. The Street University on Facebook, Real Akinyemi on Instagram, and Wale Akinyemi on Twitter, right?
Absolutely.
Looks like I'll be saying those ones alongside mine. Let's continue this conversation tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We're taking a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle with Mwikali.